It's a really good question, and we see that generally construction is a very diversified industry, and so residential contractors, if housing starts to decline, they switch to other types of products, major home renovations, additions. So generally the best construction companies are not seeing a slowdown. If anything, they're having trouble getting access to the skilled labor that they need to continue building more housing.
And I'll get to that skilled labor in just a second, but are you seeing a sort of bifurcation when it comes to commercial? Because I know that you deal with both, with commercial and residential, when it comes to commercial construction versus residential construction.
Yeah, so I can't speak broadly of the market here, but what I do see is that we're seeing a shift from new construction of office buildings to interior renovations, tenant improvement, et cetera. So the same is true in commercial. It's highly diversified.
Interesting. Are you seeing it because there's now talk about office buildings that are going to be turned, or the idea of turning them into residential? Have you been hearing from the industry players there about plans to turn some of these office buildings into apartments, let's say?
Yeah, you hear about it. It's happening in Texas. It's happening in other states with more relaxed permitting rules. But overall, it's a very difficult process. We don't have any contractors today who are doing that. But I'm certainly excited by that idea, and we need more housing. Connecting back to housing starts, inventory is at an all-time low. We need to be building more housing. When we zoom out, we see that we're in a housing crisis, and so despite the number of housing starts going down on a month-over-month basis, we still need to be building a lot more. And so Beam looks at the market in more of a 10-year view, and we know that we need to be building more housing.
And staying on that housing theme, do you see different areas of the country that are tighter than others areas of the country? I mean, because there are some states where you have more housing starts, and in other states you've got the blue states where there's not as much. So what are you observing?
Yeah, it's a hyper local industry, and so the statistics we're seeing are really aggregated across the entire country. But if you look at a specific city, or if you look at a very specific even municipality, you're going to see a very different story. And so what we see, I'm here in San Francisco, we see a lot of development of ADUs, accessory dwelling units. We see a lot of major home renovations. We're not seeing as many housing starts. But if you go to the Midwest, you'll see a lot of new housing starts. And it's just the nature of the industry is it's very localized.
And let's talk for a second about the labor market when it comes to construction, because